let our heels ground. Let our spine be tall. And there went the air conditioner. Oh, and it might help if I turn this thing on.
Hello? Okay. Well, maybe you can hear me. So we'll start with our heels under our knees, our hips. Give your feet and your knees a little wiggle. Start to widen out the toes and rock towards the balls of the feet, towards the heels, and get just a little flowing movement through the soles of our feet as we stretch up and down. And with our heels grounding, our toes widen and relax. Feel the arches lift up, but the knee joints soften, and the shoulders release as the fingers draw towards the ground. Let's pull up the rib cage, top of the head to the sky as we inhale, and then feel your shoulder blades just relaxing down the spine as we exhale. Let's inhale and reach up tall, and then exhale, rest it down. Let's inhale and send the palms up to the sky. Exhaling, thumbs down to the heart. Inhaling as we lengthen. Exhaling as we lower. Let's do one more. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, resting. Now as we stretch our arms out to the side, start to roll through our wrist, through our elbows, through our shoulder. And then with our fingers reaching out, lift the ribs and start to turn to one side, turning towards the other side. Just a little release side to side as we breathe. And as we find neutral, our palms open. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, coming only halfway. And then inhale, lifting up. Exhaling just halfway. Let's do a couple more breaths. Inhaling tall. Exhaling halfway. Let's do one more. Reaching up. Let's swan dive all the way down this time. Knees bending, fingertips resting as our shoulders relax. Maybe the head and neck find a little bit of movement up and down. Maybe just a little release side to side. Resting up and down. Helping the knees come back underneath us into an all fours position. Allowing the wrists to relax under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Picking up our ribs and pulling them to the front of our mat as we inhale. Guiding the ribs up to the sky as we exhale. Feeling just a little flowing movement through our spine, opening and relaxing. Feeling just a few releasing breaths. Option to continue the flow up and down, relaxing our spine. Option to find a little neutral, maybe sending shoulder towards the hip, maybe even looking back at the hip, letting your chin be a part of the movement. Taking a moment to breathe. And as we find just a little bit of evenness, let's lengthen out our spine, lengthen out one leg, releasing it down. Lengthening out the other leg, releasing it down. Just a couple movements, side to side as we reach and release. Take a moment to breathe. And we're going to take one heel out, stretch it across the body so it's reaching towards the other side, and then maybe that pinky toe finds the ground. And we're going to start to gaze back towards that pinky toe so you feel your outer hip stretch. Come back to the center, send that knee towards the ground, stretching the other leg out, draw it across the body, maybe the pinky toe rests to the ground, and then we turn to look at that big toe and stretch and reach through the hip. Coming back to the center, relax the knees. Knees together or wide, releasing into our child's pose. Let's find a moment of rest. Enjoying stillness, or maybe we inhale, finding our kneeling plank, creating our tall spine. We can exhale, elbows into the ribs. Let our inhale float the heart open. Exhaling, finding rest. Feeling just a moment to breathe in stillness and relaxation. Resting into our exhales. Helping that right foot find its way into our lunge. Starting to flow with our breath. Inhaling our hips and heart forward. Exhaling our hips and thighs back. Finding reach, finding relaxation through the body, resting with any range of motion, any pace of movement. Let's find a place of stillness, keeping the spine tall, maybe softening the heart towards the thighs, and breathe. Letting our inhale send our heart forward, turning towards the front thigh, lift our heart to the sky. As we release, sliding the front leg back, sending the back foot forward. Feel a little bit of flow. Inhaling hips and heart forward. Exhaling hips and thighs back. So get just a little reach and release as we breathe, resting into our breath. Our bodies are welcome to continue the flow. If we find a place of stillness that feels good, continuing with the tall spine or maybe sinking our heart towards our thighs and release just for a moment to breathe. Letting the inhale guide our hips and heart forward, twisting towards the front thigh. Let's lift our heart to the sky. And then releasing back, finding child's pose just for a moment. Enjoying the arms forward, maybe walking one arm a little taller, walking the other arm a little taller, and feel that stretch through our shoulders. Taking a moment to breathe through the ribs, through the side body. Keeping the arms forward or walking the arms over to one side, feeling your ribs stretching out. The hips and the shoulders are stretching wide, and breathe. Let's find neutral and then maybe over towards the other side. Feeling that reach in our side body. As we find ourselves in neutral, resting our shoulders, letting our head and neck relax as we breathe. Continuing with our child's pose or finding downward dog, tucking the toes, sending tailbone up towards the sky, feeling that length through the spine. Knees can be bent, knees can be straight. Maybe we move the legs a bit, pulling one thigh forward, the other thigh back, feeling just a little stretch in our legs as we breathe. Sending our feet up towards the hands, releasing into our forward fold. Let's inhale and slide up halfway. Grounding into our heels, let's lift up all the way. Heart, our hands down to the heart. Now we're going to work through some poses to lead up to combining them all together. So we're going to have the right foot forward, left foot back. You can keep hips neutral. You can widen out the hips for a little bit more stability. We're going to work on feeling our hips be neutral as we inhale. Open the chest. Exhale, hinging softly, or feel the heart keep drawing towards the thigh, and breathe. Just a few breaths. Now from here, we're going to send the same arm as this front leg to the inside of the calf or thigh or floor and lift the other arm up, little variation of a triangle. Now we're going to release it down, deep bend in the front knee. Inhale, pull the fingertips up to the sky. Resting thumbs to the heart. Let's trade legs. So the other foot's forward, the other leg is back, hands resting at our hips. Take a deep breath. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, hinging just a little bit. Noticing the hips, trying to keep neutral hips and spine, tall spine as we stretch forward and breathe. And then as we maybe get towards halfway, send the same hand as the front leg towards the calf, thigh, or floor. Open the heart to the side into this variation of a triangle. Fingertips up to the sky. Then relaxing down, let's deep bend in the front knee, lift up the chest. Now we're going to step wide on our mat. So as we turn sideways, find this 5-point star with our fingers reaching out. As we exhale, tailbone comes back. Inhale, lengthening out, exhaling, sinking back. So feel stretch, feel release, take a few deep breaths. Now reach up tall, stretch the fingertips to the sky, and then exhale, bend to the heart. Let's send our heels underneath. So we're going to work on moon salutation. So we're going to go really slow, taking several breaths, and then I'll let you do it a couple times with your own pace. It's not terribly complicated, but basically you're going to do something on one side and do the same thing in reverse on the other side. I know, I just made that sound so easy. So you should be facing the long side of your mat because you're going to be going to this side. So it'll just be easier mechanically to do that while facing the long side of the mat. So we'll find the mountain pose that we started with. Fingertips to the ground, top of the head to the sky. So we inhale, send the heart up. Exhaling, thumbs into the heart. So we're going to inhale, fingertips to the sky. Exhale, fingers over to one side, fold in the side body. Inhaling tall, exhaling towards the other side. Inhaling tall, let's step wide, back to that 5-point star. Allowing the toes to open. So we exhale, send the tailbone back. Feel the lower belly come in, shoulders release. Now we're going to rotate. You can choose which side, but you're going to rotate towards one side and turn the body into this triangle position. So lengthening the front leg towards straight. Hand can stay at the thigh or the calf or the floor. Now you're going to exhale and turn the ribs towards the front thigh. So you can hang out, you can bend the front knee, find a lunge, or you can even turn it into a half moon, depending on how much balance you want in your life today. But if we've half moon, we're going to return to the lunge and send our hands on the inside of the leg. Now we're going to walk our hands to the center, sink the tailbone back, hands on the ground, or hands at the heart, your choice. And now we'll walk towards the other side. Feel the hands on the inside. Find ourselves into that lunge. Again, option to find that half moon as you stretch your arms up to the sky. We're returning the body back. Find that pyramid position. And then we'll open up to that triangle of your choice. And then deepen the front knee just so that we can lift the chest. Find the back, lengthen out, and then bring the feet together. You can jump or just step in. Exhaling arms to one side, exhaling arms to the other side. Back to the center, lift the heart. Exhale, thumbs down. All right, so that's basically it. We're just going to do it several times. So inhale, lift it tall. Exhale, thumbs to heart. Inhale, fingertips up to the sky. Exhaling over to one side. Exhaling over to the other side. Back to the center, stepping wide. Feel the toes draw out, so as we exhale, the tailbone can come back. Now again, we're turning to one side, finding that triangle. So opening the chest out to the side. Now we're going to rotate the rib cage towards the front thigh to the pyramid. Find the lunge or the half moon, whichever one you're feeling good about. And we can return to the lunge, rest our hands on the inside. So we can walk our hands and feet back, ground the heels, lower belly in, hands at the heart or the floor. Walking towards that other side. So maybe we're finding the lunge, maybe finding that half moon, your choice. Returning to that pyramid position, lengthening the front leg towards straight. Option to lift up the top arm into the triangle of your choice. Releasing down. Deep bend in the front knee. Widening out our toes. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, sinking. Now as our arms come tall, bringing our feet together, however you choose. Drawing the arms to one side. Drawing the arms towards the other side. Arms to the sky. Let's lift up the ribs. Exhale, thumbs to the heart. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, resting. We'll shoot the arms up to the sky. Pull them over to one side. Pulling them over to the other side. If you want to slow down significantly with your breath, you can. When I'm talking, I'm not necessarily breathing. Just the way life is. Let's tailbone back. Reaching tall. Now you're going to turn to one side. So if you want to trade the side that you were turning on, just experience, you can. We're going to reach into that triangle and then reach into the pyramid, turn that into the lunge or that heel into the half moon. And then back to the lunge, hands on the inside. Let's walk to the middle, hands on the ground or hands on the heart. Walking towards the other side, finding the lunge or the half moon, your body's choice. Then releasing down to that pyramid, ribs towards the front thigh, front leg can be straight. Maybe lifting the left arm or the inside arm into that triangle. Let's ground the front knee, reach the arms wide, sink the tailbone in, maybe come in with our feet together, drawing the arms to one side, drawing the arms to the other side. Come back to the center, let's lift the lungs. Exhaling, thumbs to heart. So we'll do that just one more time. I promise that's it. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, resting. Drawing fingertips up to the sky. Let's send the arms over to one side. Sending the arms over towards the other side. Feel the arms reach wide, toes reach wide. Let's sink the tailbone back. Now choose which side. We're going to find the triangle, opening up the chest. Rotating the rib cage towards the front thigh. Feel that deep bend in the knee into the lunge, or picking up the back heel, finding any variation of a half moon. And sending the leg back, hands on the inside of the lunge. Walking our hands in, both feet wide, hands on the ground, hands at the heart. And then over towards the other side, choosing the lunge or the half moon, your body's choice. And then returning to the lunge, maybe sinking into that pyramid, and then option to lift up the inside arm to the triangle, ground into that front heel. Let's lift up, sink the tailbone in. And as we stretch out, our feet and arms come together, arms reaching to one side, arms reaching to the other side, lifting the ribs up to the sky. Exhaling, thumbs to the heart. Now we're going to send the feet wide just for a moment. Let your knees have a little wiggle, heels rest. By our inhale, lift the heart. Exhaling, come halfway. Pull the lower belly in, inner thighs in. Feel the stability through the hips and lower back. Option to stay, fingers wide. Option to keep sinking. Fingers can rest under the shoulders or towards the feet, wherever. Feeling pretty stable and release into our breath. So maybe our head and neck. Find a little bit of up and down movement. Maybe a little bit of side to side movement. Maybe just a little bit of up and down again. Hanging out in the neutral position. Maybe walking arms over to one side. Feeling just a little deeper. Stretching the thigh and the hip. Hang out here just a few breaths. Feel a little release as we breathe. Let's walk to neutral and then towards the other side. Feeling that stretch in our side. As we find neutral, option to release the shoulders, head and neck. Maybe even move your head and neck up and down a few times. Maybe side to side a few times. Feeling just a little release of the shoulders. Fingertips can stay where they are. Depending on how your hamstrings are feeling, maybe our hands and ribs walk a little closer towards the thighs. Feeling the big toes grounding, the heels grounding, tailbone up to the sky, maybe walking our fingertips further behind us, stretching here, resting into our breath. Just a few releasing exhales. And as we feel the deep bend in the knee, let's inhale, lift the heart up to the sky, stretching our ribs open. Exhaling, thumbs into the heart. Guiding our heels underneath our hips, wiggling out our knees. Let's inhale, lift our heart open. And exhale, find our way into chair pose. Inner thighs engage, outer hips press wide, pushing into the palms, shoulders relax. Finding neutral or moving elbows towards one side. Maybe elbows towards the other side. Feeling just a little stretch side to side as we breathe. As we find our way back to center, resting the palms, let's inhale and send our heart open. Exhaling, pull the ribs up. Just a few standing cat and cows. Inhale, opening the lungs. Exhale, folding. Feeling just a moment to breathe in the spine. As our tailbone rests, our heels rest, tailbone lifts up to the sky. Let's exhale, thumbs down. We're going to find a tree pose, planting one foot, the other knee forward or to the side. Let's inner thighs come in, lower belly come in. Feel our focal point. Toe on the floor. Maybe the toe floats, maybe the foot feels the inside of the calf or thigh, wherever you're feeling the most stable. Today, and breathe. Hands maintaining grounding at the heart, maybe resting, maybe stretching fingertips towards the sky, creating any balance we feel pretty stable with today, and relax through our breath. As we relax, let's release the joints just a bit. Trading sides, the other foot feels ground, knee joint softens, the other thigh forward or open. Let the inner thighs come in, lower belly comes in, finding stability, finding that focal point. Choosing your foot positioning that doesn't add pressure in our joints. Choosing the arm positioning that allows us the most stability today. And find a few releasing breaths. Finding relaxation through our exhales. As we're ready for release, let's move our joints just a bit. Now we're going to come to a variation of a star pose because I'm going to give you option to turn it into a floating half moon or regular half moon. So basically have your legs in the triangle stance and the toe pointing towards the short side of the mat is the one that's going to take on the weight. So just make sure you traded feet that takes on the weight. So as our arms reach out wide, the foot taking on the weight can take on most of the weight. Maybe we just lift the heel. Maybe we float the toe. You can actively extend through the heel, activating our legs, our spine. Now we can stay floating tall. You can hinge from the hip, reaching towards the toe, pointing towards the short side of the mat. And continue to float. It will require a lot of those obliques, thighs and hips to kick in. If your fingertip wants to touch the ground, it can, your choice. Take a moment to breathe. And then as we're ready to lengthen tall, you can shake out the joints. Trading feet when we're ready again. The leg we're going to stand on is going to reach to the short side of the mat. The other leg points to the long side of the mat. And then we'll send our arms wide. Feel your inner thighs engage. The foot taken on the weight bends. You feel that grounding in the heel. May we float the toes. May we push through the heel to activate, lengthening out the legs. So again, we can stay tall and floated, kind of like that variation of a star. Or you can hinge, maybe even floating from that halfway position. Fingertips are allowed to touch the ground if they choose. Just choose any variation your body feels pretty stable about today. Relax into our breath. As we're ready for rest, let's shake out our joints, give everything a little release. In front of our mats, let's lift our lungs as we inhale, swan diving. As we exhale, sending our feet back to all fours or downward dog, stretching out our legs. Now we're going to have an option of a three-legged dog with the right toes reaching up to the sky. Maybe even bending the right knee so our heel draws towards the hip of the thigh, presses up towards the sky. Feel that expansion through the front side body, reaching here as we breathe. Option to hang out. You can send these top toes wide outside the front hand. Back knee can rest or stay tall, your choice. Feel the lift of the collarbone, the length through the back of the head, through the back of that thigh or heel, whichever one applies to your body, and add a little flow. So our hips and heart draw forward, and our hips and thighs reach back. You don't have to have complete movement either direction, just a little bit of flow, stretching forward, reaching back. Feel that reach and release as we breathe. Now from here, you have a few options. First option is hang out, back knee up or down. In the lizard, arms up or elbows down. It's pretty intense hip stretch. You can move into pigeon and wiggle the right toes over to the left side, or you can send them back up to the sky and pull the knee forward. Whichever one makes your knee and hip happier. So in the lizard lunge or the pigeon, you can stay wherever you feel a good stretch. So maybe arms are straight or maybe elbows bend from either option, and let your body take a few deep breaths, feeling released into any place that may be talking to us, little few extra sensations, trying to relax. For our exhales, just wherever you're feeling a good stretch and breathe. Now wherever we're at, let's take the front foot back to where it started. Maybe that's three-legged dog, or maybe we just hang out in downward dog for a moment. Option to move our legs. So maybe when we're pedaling our feet, one thigh forward, the other thigh back, and feel a little stretch as we breathe. So we're going to even out. Option left foot to pull up to the sky, to the three-legged dog with the legs straight. Maybe our heel stretches in towards the hip, sending the front of the thigh up towards the sky. And then wherever we're at, we're help this left foot come wide outside the left hand. So the back knee can be lifted or lowered. Collarbone lifts, spine grows tall from either option. Feeling your hips, thighs stretch back and forth. Doesn't have to be a big movement, just noticing where your body feels its best stretch today. Get a little release as we breathe, resting through our exhales. Now again, hanging out in this lizard lunge, or the lizard lunge on the elbows, or turning it into pigeon by wiggling the toe over or pulling it all the way back up and just helping the knee in, wherever your knee and hip are happier about it. So we can stay with the arms tall in either the pigeon or that lizard, or your elbows can come to the ground from either one, choosing where your body feels its best stretch today, and just relax. Finding a few deep breaths where everybody feels like stretching. Let's get a few releasing exhales. With our next inhale, let's ground into our palms, tuck into that back toe, front foot can come back where it started. Maybe that's downward dog, maybe that's three-legged dog. If we end up in downward dog, you're welcome to bend your knees and hips just a bit side to side and breathe. If downward dog is feeling okay, let's widen out our feet to the sides of the mat, toes reaching wide, and start to walk our hands towards our legs. So the fingertips reach towards the ground underneath our shoulders, our head and neck. Have the option to be still, or maybe we flow the head and neck up and down a little bit. Maybe we flow the head and neck side to side just a little bit. Feel a little stretch as we breathe. So I have just a couple of options here. You can stay tall and rest in the center. You can walk the ribs towards one side again, towards the other side again. Depending on how you feel about a yoga squat, you can sink the tailbone back. We've already done it a few times. With the hips in line with the knees, or you can come into this more intense version, depending on how your knees and hips are feeling, and feel a little stretch into the breath. Feel the length in the spine and release in the shoulders. Now from here, we're going to send our hands behind us or in front of us, whichever feels more stable, so our tailbone can come to the ground and our legs can stretch out. Maybe a little, mosquitoes. Sorry. Send our spine tall. Turn towards one side, lengthening and twisting, feeling just a moment to stretch into our breath. That's fine. Neutral. Over towards the other side, lengthening, twisting. Take a moment to breathe. As we find ourselves back into neutral, rolling our toes and heels just a little bit side to side. Flowing movement through your legs. Breathe. Now we're going to send the ribs over towards one leg. Picking up the ribs on the inhale, maybe softly reaching towards the thighs, maybe allowing a little deeper release depending on how our bodies are feeling today. Let's relax into our breath. As our spine grows tall, let's turn towards the other leg, feeling length, feeling hinging softly or hinging deeper. Whatever our body feels like releasing, resting in to our breath. With our spine tall, let's slide the soles of the feet towards each other, finding any variation of butterflies. So maybe the feet are wide, maybe the heels find alignment with the knees, maybe the heels come in deeper, depending on how you're feeling about it. Spine grows tall, maybe rolling into our tailbone, just a bit side to side. We can stay with this movement. You're welcome to fly those butterfly wings a few times. And as our thighs relax, let's relax the shoulders and inhale the heart up to the sky. Maybe we stay tall. Maybe we exhale just softly forward. Lengthening on the inhale, maybe exhale, hinging a little softer forward. And you're welcome to continue to exhale just to the place where you're feeling like, I think I can breathe a little further. When our breathing stops releasing us into the stretch, or we feel any deep, sharp sensations, that's usually your body's sign to say we should stop doing things. If we can breathe through those sensations and just a little bit of tension, then our body can relax out. So we're finding just a few resting breaths, just 2 more deep exhales. Letting that next inhale guide our spine tall, our knees flow in line with our hips and our ankles, holding on at our thighs, shoulders reaching back, heart reaches to the sky. Hanging out here or floating the toes or kicking in the thighs and belly, floating the heels up off the ground with the knees bent or the legs straight, your choice. Holding on or maybe reaching out. Find a few deep breaths. Now we're going to send our feet wide. You can relax your hands, add these little seated windshield wipery movements. Feel a little stretch, a little release, side to side, and breathe. Now with your hands still supporting you, we're going to let one leg lengthen out. The other ankle can flex at the ankle, or you can do ankle above the knee, whichever one feels better. Press your thighs towards the ground and inhale the heart towards the sky. Take a moment to breathe. Now as we inhale our spine tall, we're going to take our hand and our to one foot and then the other hand to the thigh. And you're going to think about movement coming from your hip, that this hand on the foot is just helping to direct it so we're not adding any tension in our knee. So you think about your hip making this big circle. And then maybe trading out the direction. And we're even welcome to press the thigh out to the side and breathe. Now we'll trade sides. That leg extends. Send your hands back, shoulders together, heart lifts. The other ankle flexes where you feel stable. Feel the thighs pushing into the ground as the heart presses up to the sky. And just feel that oppositional stretch and reach. Now with our spine growing tall, we're going to send our hand to the foot, hand to the thigh. Feel that engagement to help the body start to circle into the hip. Feel your thigh helping to activate that hip circle. And then maybe trading out that direction. And we're going to have the option to feel the thigh reach all the way out to the side. And then all the way back in. And then roll the ankles just a few times. With our heels out, toes in, tailbone grounding, inhaling fingertips to the sky. You can always allow the soften in the knees as we exhale, hinging to the diagonal. Lift the ribs, reach the heart forward. Inhale, lift the ribs, exhale, reach the heart forward. Finding that space that our body can release and rest. Deep exhales wherever your body feels like stretching today. As we lengthen up our spine, our shoulders release, heels stretching to the front of our mats, making space, release behind us, finding support with our hands on the thighs as our spine grows tall, holding on or reaching out, and then beginning to find that stability through the spine, releasing us down into the mat. Allowing the shoulders to release, the head, the neck to release. Our legs can extend, maybe the arms stretch over our head, and we feel that length through our fingers and our toes. And breathe. Then widening out our arms reaching towards the corners of the mat on one side, our feet reaching to the corner of the mat like we're making that 5-point star again, but we're now on our spines instead of standing. We take just a moment to breathe, feeling that reach through the fingers and the toes, or just relaxing the arms and the legs and the space, and release a few deep breaths. Relaxing here for a moment, and then as we feel the legs and the arms reach in towards the midline of the body, you just feel the fingertips stretching over the head towards, over the spine, towards the top of the mat, and the toes reaching towards the bottom of the mat. Now you're going to bend the right knee, push into the right foot so your hips can reach to the right side of the mat. Take your right ankle, cross it over the left, and send your ankles towards the left side of the mat. Your right wrist over the left wrist, and then your arms reach to the left side of the mat so that you're kind of making a crescent moon shape with our bodies. And breathe. You should feel, or possibly maybe feeling, stretch on the top side of the body through the hips, the ribs, and the shoulders. But if your body is not feeling that stretch, you can enjoy any stretch reaching through the body as we breathe. Take just a couple more exhales here. Let's bend the right knee again, maneuvering our bodies back into that neutral position, fingers over the head, toes towards the foot of the mat, and then bending that left knee. Pushing into the left foot, wiggling your hips to the left side of the mat. Let the left ankle cross over the right, sending the ankles towards the left side of the mat. The left wrist crosses over the right, drawing them towards the right side of the mat. You feel, maybe, this stretch through the top side body, through our shoulders, our ribs, our hips. And breathe, a little crescent moon here, wherever your body feels a good stretch and release. Find a few deep breaths. Then we can bend that left knee again. Find ourselves back to neutral, sending our feet wide. So maybe our arms relax by our side, palms up or down, whichever is comfortable. Add a few windshield wipering movements. Thighs drawing towards one side, thighs drawing towards the other side. Feeling the tailbone, lower back releasing here as we breathe. A few resting exhales. As our heels slide in line with our knees and our hips, we're going to send the right knee towards the chest. Feel that right knee reach out to the side like a half frog. Toes and knees reaching to the side. That grounded hip stays grounded. If you want to rest that hand on the hip, you can, and breathe. We can stay to the side, or you can make some circling movements through that thigh and hip. Staying in that direction or trading the direction of the movement. And then keeping that thigh hugged into the chest, we're going to let the other heel lengthen out to the foot of the mat. feeling that reach as the thighs actively stretch away from each other and breathe, relaxing into our breath. So enjoying this stretch, our twist with our knee crossing the body and our shoulders and hips relaxing in opposite directions, feeling just a little release here, wherever your body feels like your breath wants to draw into, to find relaxation and rest into each breath. As we send our body back into neutral, let's relax our thighs wide, our feet wide again, so our thighs can windshield wiper just a bit side to side, and relax here. Tailbone, thigh, lower back, and breathe. As we come back, knees and heels in line with the hips, the left thigh or the other thigh can reach towards the rib cage, stretching here for a bit in stillness. May we open it out, knee and toe to the side like we're doing a half frog, and then the hand can relax into the opposite hip so you feel stability in the tailbone. Resting here, just a few relaxing breaths. And as our knee draws in towards the chest, that bent leg on the bottom can lengthen out towards straight, and we're feeling that stretch here as we breathe. Maybe adding some circling movements in that knee and thigh, hip region in one direction, maybe trading that direction. If you like the hip circles, we can stay here, or you can hug the thigh back into the chest and maybe add that spinal twist, allowing the knee to stretch across the body and our hips and shoulders to stretch wide and breathe. Relaxing here just for a moment, releasing through each exhale. Just a few resting breaths. As we find ourselves moving back into neutral, sending both knees wide towards our shoulders. Option the happy baby, or send the toes back wide so you have kind of like this full upside down fish. Thighs opening, tailbone resting, and breathe. And then we're going to send the knees and toes towards each other and start circling our knees on the sky. Feel that release through your tailbone, through your lower back. You can make as small of a circle as it feels comfortable, or as big of a circle as it feels comfortable. And maybe trading that direction of the movement. Feel a little relaxation as we breathe. Returning our feet wide, relaxing here with knees resting together, or adding a few more windshield wipering movements. Feeling rest as our tailbone, the lower back, the outer hips release as we breathe, resting into our exhales. We're welcome to enjoy the feet being wide, the knees together, feeling that tailbone resting with comfort on the ground. If our bodies really enjoy this stretch today, continuing here. Or maybe we send the soles of the feet towards each other and relax the thighs into our reclined butterfly, shoulders resting, hips releasing, palms open to the sky. Maybe our body continues to enjoy this reclined butterfly, or we're welcome to lengthen our legs out towards straight and find any position of rest that our body feels relaxed in. And we begin to focus on our breathing. As we inhale, travel the breath through the nose, down to the belly. As we exhale, release the breath out of the belly, out of the nose. We're welcome to relax with our eyes closed. If you'd like to open the eyes with the bright blue sky, the birds flying around. Maybe you can see the part of the moon that's showing today. We'll feel that breath, that calming breath of the evening, drawing in and relaxing our body with each inhale, allowing each exhale to release out anything we just don't need today. And maybe with this evening practice, with our body having plenty of time to have movement or stillness, whatever our day brought our way, allowing our breath to travel out any extra sensations that our body has taken on throughout the day. And each exhale presses them down into the ground, releasing out of our body, allowing our body to find a place for rest. So as we choose our time for sleep this evening, we'll find relaxation through each muscle, through each joint, feeling peace and rest through our breath. Just enjoy a few releasing exhales. Beginning to feel the breath softening the body. We guide the breath into our fingers and our toes. Feel the softness in our joints, the softness in our hands, the softness in our feet. Beginning to feel the breath relaxing through our wrists, our ankles, noticing everything getting to soften. Maybe it's even getting heavy in towards the ground. Guiding the breath through our wrists, our ankles, welcoming any movements in the body or enjoying the softening as the breath relaxes us in towards the ground. Continuing to breathe through the lower legs, lower arms. Feeling relaxation as we release through our knees, through our elbows. Finding rest as we relax into our thighs, feeling release through our hips. Noticing the release in our shoulders, the upper arms. You can stay as we are. We're welcome to bend the knees, bend the elbows as you notice the spine releasing into the ground. Noticing the relaxation of the tailbone, the lower back. Feeling that release through our ribs, the shoulders, the neck, the back of the head. Feeling soft release towards the ground. Welcome to continue as we are. Maybe we feel like resting our thighs deeper in towards the chest, allowing deeper grounding of our spine into the floor. Enjoying stillness, maybe adding some side movements. Maybe circling those knees again, allowing any extra sensations to release out of the body. If we're circling, let's trade the direction. Then finding rest on one side, whichever side you feel comfortable with. If that's not comfortable, you can stay as you. Taking a moment to breathe in, just a few softening breaths coming in through that left nostril. Resting out anything we just don't need through the right nostril, the ground, and find relaxation. As we plant our palms, let's find ourselves into our seated position. Noticing a place of relaxation in our tailbone, maybe even rocking the hips just a bit side to side. Feel a little release. As we find a little grounding in our tailbone, feel the top of the head reach tall, then send a chin to the shoulder, relaxing the shoulder blades as the side of the neck stretches out. Let's find ourselves back to neutral and then towards the other side. Finding ourselves back to neutral, resting in an ear to the shoulder, enjoying that release in our shoulder blades. Stretching tall, let's relax towards the other side. As we draw back tall, maybe flowing the shoulders up and down a few times. As our shoulders rest, our palms reach up to the sky as we inhale, maybe lifting the chin and heart. Exhaling, releasing the thumbs and the chin back down. Inhaling as we reach up and open. Exhaling, resting down. Let's find one more breath. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, resting. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for Sunset Yoga. And it looks like my light on my phone, I was kind of worried that we were going to be in the dark, but looks like we still look bright. Hello, people watching.